What up? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And look at you. You done stumbled upon little OTB Saints, where we bring you all the latest black and gold coverage.
Who are the Saints going to draft? Who's going to be their quarterback? What does the salary cap look like? All that information and more.
Hope you enjoy it. Like, subscribe.
You know Jawan's going to line up probably as the F, and you're going to have Foster Moreau line up as the Y in some of these 12 personnel situations, and I'm sure they'll both play in 11 personnel depending on what the situation is. But Taysom is a guy that we've kind of known to play a lot of different positions, and he is listed as a tight end. And I mean, anytime he picks up a football and throws a forward pass, people want to make it news because they're like, okay, what's going on with Taysom Hill? But like, what do you think that role is going to be? Because you do have two very talented tight ends. Now, he can do a lot of different things, but what do you think he is going to do to help the Saints win from game one?
Well, I'm definitely one of those people that make it news because look, it was weird at this mini camp.
I get it, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Like 2 out of 3 practices, he was primarily a quarterback. Jake Haener didn't really get any work on those days. You just drafted him. So like, what is actually the vision here? It's a little bit confusing on just where he fits in. And look, I'm sorry, but like one of the thoughts I had in my head was just like, are they keeping him close to this position just in case there's an injury somewhere and they want to trade a quarterback and maybe Jameis gets dealt for somebody? Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't come back with the Raiders. Does Jameis become an option there? So like now you're keeping Taysom close to it. I mean, it's probably not that, but look, in one of the things with him too, with Taysom is that I think you do got to keep him familiar with that position because one of the things that's going to make him good on the field is when he is throwing the ball. But like the emphasis on it was a little bit surprising to me overall. So I don't know actually where he's going to fit in to this mix. He's probably going to do a little bit of everything. You know, one of the things T-Bob's dad, Bobby, like he made a point that he thought Taysom should be in the running back room. And I don't disagree with that. I think that's probably where he might make the most sense. I think that's where he's at his best. Have him learning how to actually read blocks and how to fit into everything instead of being in the tight end room or the quarterbacks. But I think they're going to have him try to do a little bit of everything. And really how he fits in this year is going to be one of the more fascinating things to me because I just don't think there's enough touches for everybody on this offense to be involved. And like someone somewhere is going to lose a little bit. I don't think it should be Taysom because he averages 5 yards per carry. Yeah. I would be trying to do more of that. But if he's getting his touches, that means somebody else isn't. So I don't know how it all comes together. I don't know what his role is actually going to be. I thought they figured it out at the end of last year, kind of having him more as a ball carrier and heavily involved there. But, they go out, they get Jamal Williams and they get Kendre Miller, tied with Alvin, and that gets squeezed out a little bit. So I don't know. Like it was probably the biggest surprise to me was day one we're out there, he's a quarterback. Day 3 we're out there, he's a quarterback again. And the guy they just drafted isn't getting any work because of it. So it's just kind of it's a good problem to have too many offensive weapons. But I mean, there's definitely some sorting out that I think needs to happen there.
You mentioned the running back position there, and I've gone as long as I possibly can without talking running backs here in this interview. Nick, you know me, so let's go ahead and get to it. A very talented room, and a room that I think features a lot of different skill sets, which I love. If you're going to have a running back by committee, it needs to be guys that can do different things. Because if you have like 3 bruisers back there, what's the point? If you have 3 slashers, what's the point? I do like the mix. We don't know with Alvin Kamara. We all know that. But let's say for whatever reason, let's just say that he was available in the first game. How do you think the carries would be broken up between the backs?
Ooh, man, it's tough to say. I mean, so week 1 he's out there and there's no chance for anybody to pull off on him. I think he probably is still, the league guy say there's 25 carries in a game, 20 carries in a game. I would want him getting 10 to 12 of them probably, but I think I don't know, man. It's such a hard question to answer. I don't want to be disrespectful to Alvin, but like you just drafted a guy in the 3rd round too that I think in a perfect world you want him getting the bulk of the carry. So I think it would probably be Alvin in the lead, Kendre second, Jamal Williams kind of in a specialized, more specialized role if they're all available to start the season. Now, if they aren't, I think that's where it gets interesting because now people have a chance to make their case and everything gets a little bit topsy-turvy. The one thing I really, really like though in these practices, and it was basically I was the guy on the corner like ringing a bell, like screaming about how Alvin was used last year. First practice, like they got him split out again. He's doing stuff like as a receiver, split out to the outside. They got him in the slot. They're using him in different roles. He's catching passes out there and making stuff happen in space. And there's a way to get everybody involved where even if you want to shift Alvin off of some of the primary ball carrying stuff, which I think they should do, then I think he can still be involved and get a lot of his touches. But, I think the perfect world going forward, it's Kendrick Miller earning those touches and kind of squeezing everybody out to fall behind him a little bit the way Alvin did in 2017. And he can still keep everyone involved and Alvin can still have a significant role. But, at some point you want that transition to happen and hopefully he is the guy. And the sooner he makes that case, I think the healthier your team is.
Yeah, you have a skill set with different guys. Use them to the best of their ability. I mean, Alvin Kamara doing stuff in the slot, like you mentioned, motioning out and doing so many different things for you. Don't just line him up and dot the I. Like Jamal Williams can be that guy. So I just hope that they use everyone's skill set to the maximum level that they can.
Wow, just amazing black and gold takes right there, Jake.
I don't think I've ever heard any takes that are better than the two guys that just gave you that take.
And you can keep getting them by going ahead and liking, subscribing, ringing the bell to get notifications when we post. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next OTB Saints.